The Picture of Dorian Gray is a fascinating novel written by Oscar Wilde. The plot revolves around a man who sacrifices his inner soul for a lifetime of pleasure and beauty. He never cared about his actions. The ending of the story will teach you amazing lessons. This novel was written by Oscar Wilde during the Victorian era in the 19th century, around 1890. It is a classic work of literature. It's a Gothic fictional work that introduced me to the important facts. Oscar Wilde wrote this beautiful novel back in the Victorian age. He has presented the consequences of presenting the soul for getting pleasure. The same things happened to Dorian Gray. He is the main character of the story. He seems a young, beautiful boy. The setting of the story starts when Basil Hallward is painting an attractive picture. His friend Henry asked him about the boy in the picture. Basil didn't tell him about Dorian. During the conversation, Dorian came to Basil. He talked with Henry. They both become friends. While Dorian was looking at his picture, Henry told him that one day he would lose his beauty and age. This sentence saddened Dorian. In exchange, Dorian made a hedonistic deal. He sold his soul to the devil and prayed that may he remain young forever. Further, he asked for the painting to age instead of him. Dorian and the love. The story runs when Dorian falls in love with a famous actress named Sybil. She was impressed with Dorian's beauty. They both engaged, but soon Dorian left her. He told her that she was no longer good at acting. The girl was broken and took her life. Dorian went into depression, but Henry changed his heart. Henry gave him the wrong suggestions. This thing had turned Dorian into an evil soul. His heart went crazy and he lost his moral values. Day by day, Dorian remained young, but the painting was getting older and uglier. James, who was Sybil's brother, tried to catch her sister's killer, but soon died. Basil came to Dorian. Basil, who made paintings, visited Dorian after years. He went into shock after watching painting. He was astonished after learning about Dorian's deal. He told him to repent, but Dorian killed him. Now Dorian was feeling morally corrupt. His inner soul turned into a wild animal from a humble boy. He wanted to seek forgiveness. Ending. The story ends in a twisting way. Dorian felt sad about his deal. He asked for forgiveness of his sins. The servant came to the room and saw the painting looking young and beautiful while an ugly old man was lying dead on the floor. The man was Dorian Gray, who faced consequences. Analysis. This novel explains the double standards of humans. Dorian concealed his kindness by dominating his evil habits. Further, aestheticism is a prominent element. Dorian was too much to indulge in his beauty and look. His pride over beauty prevented him from his lover. Moreover, he loses his real personality in pursuit of pleasure. The author mentioned the consequences of actions at the end. Bad suggestions can ruin human nature. Henry appreciated Dorian despite his faults. This cost him a huge themes. You will find these themes: corruption and moral loss. Dorian wanted to look young. Always. His quest for looking beautiful and young leads to personal decay. His soul becomes wild. Aestheticism. The novel was written in the Victorian era. The human beings were attached to their appearance along with art. The main character of the story was the same as the era. He lost his internal charm in getting materialistic things. Review. This novel is one of my favorites. I learned about the things that mattered as a human being. We look for opportunities and happiness. But we should never lose our identity in such things. Further, the ending of this novel is fascinating to me. The writing style was thought-provoking with strong themes. You can even portray characters' images in your thoughts. Here are major life lessons from this book. It is good to search for happiness but never stay away from the right path. We should care for our loved ones. Bad suggestions can morally corrupt us. Thank you.